So welcome everybody. So now we come to eighth chapter, stanza number 131. What are the shortcomings? What are the negative things if we don't exchange our own good and beneficial things with others' negative things, and give and take? If you don't do the right way of give and take. First, things that we don't see directly right now. Dode genji dunga to yonda jewa majina sonji ni to munde jin korana yon dewa mi. So this is stanza number 131. If I do not exchange my happiness for others' pain, enlightenment will never be attained, and even in samsara, joy will fly from me. So we talk about lots of reasons why we should, take others' benefits even more importantly than our own. Of course, we have to care for others because we are interdependently there, and if it's not possible that I alone, good for or something, something that I get only myself will not even make me really happy, because my happiness is also dependent on many other people, and so therefore, others are important for me. So therefore, welfare of others are very important for me. And so therefore, I need to care for the welfare and happiness of others. The more widely, more limitlessly I can help, or I can think, I can wish better for everybody, the better it is, not only for them, but also for me. And so therefore, exchanging my own welfare with the others is not just, good for others, but it is actually eventually best for myself also. So therefore, if I don't do that, this is the most important wisdom, that if I don't interchange my happiness for others' pain, then I will never become enlightened. I will never become Buddha, because the Buddhahood, or the perfect enlightenment, has to be, the full wisdom, complete perfect wisdom, and perfect wisdom cannot happen that way, because actually wanting myself to be happy, wanting myself to have this, have that, not wanting myself to have suffering, pain, problem, difficulties, this is samsaric. This is the samsaric state of mind, and this we have been doing. the utmost. This is what I've been doing best for all these lifetimes, and we have never become any better in becoming really, completely free from suffering or anything. We didn't become any better, because that's the cause of the suffering, that's the cause of the problem. So therefore, if I really want to be totally free from suffering and totally free from all the causes of suffering, and then the true, perfect, freedom from all kinds of sufferings, and attain the lasting happiness, lasting peace, what we call enlightenment, then we have to let go of that self-clinging, attachment, aversion, ego clinging. So therefore, without doing that, I can never become enlightened. Not only that, to become enlightened, to fully get rid of all the sufferings of the samsara, it's a very high thing, it's a very ultimate thing. And even if we can't think that far, if we don't have that much wisdom to believe or to understand of that kind, then even in samsara, joy will fly from me. Even in the samsara, even now, if I don't care for others, if I don't work for the benefit of others, and only think about myself and my own selfish motives, it's not going to bring any kind of true happiness and true well-being, even for myself, Because in order to accumulate some merit, some positive karma, I have to do something good for others, something helpful to others. I need to have compassion, I need to have, kindness, I need to do lots of positive actions, and positive actions means doing lots of help to others. Without that, I can't have a better life. That's talking about life after life. I cannot be born in not only, like Buddha realms and things, but also higher realms like human realms and God's realms and things like that. So, this is, these things is taught by the Buddha, and maybe we cannot see it directly, but this is how it is. That's one thing. Maybe this is not something we can think about. Then we go to the next level. 132. Living future lives outside the reckoning. Even this life's needs are not fulfilled. The servants do not do their work, and masters do not pay the wages earned. So the Tibetan for that is jite parul paryo ke tenyu limese pato jepe gemba metevi chendito yundamech. Leave aside those things that we cannot see, like the life after the life, and to become enlightened. Even if we don't, think about that, we don't talk about that, if we don't understand those things, that's okay. But even in this very life, if some, if like some servants or some employees who does not do a good job, good work, that will benefit the company or the employer or the for whoever, for your clients, for instance, or anything like that. If you don't care for others, then you don't become a good servant. You don't become a, you cannot be a successful businessman. If you cannot be a successful employee, you cannot be a good, businessman if you do not care for other people, even now, And in the same way, if you are an employer, if you don't pay rightly or in a good way to your employees, if you are not doing, giving the right kind of provisions, if you don't give what people want, if you don't, supply what people, like, or if you can't satisfy the people, your clients, whoever they are, then you cannot be a successful businessman. You cannot be a successful whatever you are doing in this very life. So that shows that, whether it's in this life, in our own kind of business and, a livelihood and, profession, and even there you have to care for the others and have to take, the more you care for others, the more you will be successful and you will be better off. And then if you do even more, then it will be good for you, not only in this life, but the life after. And if you do even more, then it will not only be good for you this life, next life, but, to be able to become totally enlightened and, find the lasting peace and happiness for yourself. And the more you can do that, the more you will benefit others, the more you will help others, and the more you can help others, it's good for all of them and it's good for you also. So therefore, really thinking about the welfare of others and doing whatever you can to help them, even at the expense of your own, pain or your own loss or your own, some sacrifice, actually, eventually, it's good for you. Not only good, but the best for you. Now to conclude, the conclusion is tondo manton dendopi tusum deshu yongpori yenla dungal shibiji mombi dungal mezele. This is 133. Casting far away abundant joys that may be gained in this or future lives, because of bringing harm to other beings, I ignorantly bring myself intolerable pain. So, if we do not help others or do not think for the welfare of others, do not exchange our little pains with, our well-being with the pains of others, then it's not just casting away, we get rid of, or we are not only throwing away the causes of our great joy in the future, like enlightenment, good births in next life and things like that, but because of bringing harm to other beings, I ignorantly bring myself intolerable pain. Usually most people think that, I have to care for myself. I have to do things that is supposed to be good for me at the expense of others. Even my best friend, I don't care if I harm him, if it is something supposed to be some profit or some gain for myself. Or if I harm hundreds and thousands of people, doesn't matter if I myself. If we think like that, actually it's foolish, it's ignorant, It's that we don't know what's really good for me. This is, so many people do that, So many people supposed to be, powerful people, leaders, They've harmed thousands and millions. They've killed people so that they think it's good for themselves. But eventually, what happened to them? They can't maintain that power all the time. They die. If nobody kills them, or if they are not, if their power is not snatched away from them by somebody in their lifetime, which most of the time does. Most of them, they are killed, and they are kind of thrown out. Even they are not done like that. They will die. Eventually, everybody dies, and then, as long as they live, they have to live in great fear. Always suspecting everybody. Always, in fear that somebody will harm them, somebody will kill them, somebody will take away their power and their wealth and things like that. What joy is there? How can you call that a successful life, a good life? Nothing. And so therefore, because of bringing harm to other beings, I ignorantly bring myself intolerable pain. Ignorantly, because I think I'm doing something good for myself or my people or whatever. But actually, you are most foolish, you are most ignorant. You're actually doing most harm to yourself, even in this life, and then not to talk about other lives, because you have accumulated so much negative karma that it will take hundreds of thousands and maybe millions of lifetimes to fully kind of pay back, you can say, if you like. So therefore, these are the things that we need to think about, we need to contemplate, we need to understand, and really become very clear about these things. It's not about, the Buddha says, you have to do this, or somebody high up says, you should do this, you should not do this. If you do this, I will, reward you. If you don't do this, I will punish you. It's not like that. It's just the causes and conditions, and so we need to look, we need to contemplate, we need to and see, which way is the most useful and positive way for myself. Even if you are most selfish, you can be wisely selfish, as His Holiness Dalai Lama sometimes say. To be compassionate is the best way of being selfish, wisely selfish. Because what we want to do is we want to do something that will be good for me and good for others. And this is the only way which is the best for myself and the good for others also. So this is 133.